This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by Encompass Health, North Shore Community College, Leo Inc., Brotherhood Credit Union, and Deolis Brothers Construction.
Good morning and welcome to LCTV News. I'm Danny Vittori, and this week is chock full of videos ranging from holiday celebrations to community resource presentations. This, combined with headlines focused on new grants and programs, makes for a very interesting combination. Here's the news for Friday, April 5th, 2024. On March 29, 2024, the MBTA announced that their board of directors unanimously approved the MBTA's plan to implement a reduced fare program for low-income riders. This builds upon the Healey-Driscoll's administration inclusion of $5 million for a low-income fare program in the fiscal year 2024 budget. The estimated total cost for this project will be between $52 and $62 million. To qualify, you must be between the ages of 26 and 64, non-disabled, and be at 200% of the federal poverty line or lower. Based on previous research, approximately 60,000 people qualify for this program, with low-income riders expected to take 30% more trips or $8 million more per year. In addition, senior and low-income riders will be eligible for half-priced ADA and premium trips on the ride. The Greater Lynn Chamber of Commerce held their 110th annual meeting at Danversport, accompanied by the presentation of the GLCC Business Awards. Some of the categories include Rookie of the Year, Employee of the Year, and Community Service.
Call the 110th annual meeting of the Greater Lynn Chamber of Commerce to order. The Greater Lynn Chamber of Commerce represents the businesses, communities of Lynn, Lynnfield, Saugus, Swampscott, and Nahant in the Greater Lynn region.
Hi, my name is Eileen Jonah. I'm with Century 21 Northeast. I've been a realtor in Lynn for almost 24 years. I am, as of tonight, the new chair of the board for the Lynn Chamber of Commerce, and we're here at Danversport in Danvers for our annual awards and dinner. I think it's a really good way for us to, on an annual basis, get everybody together. We get to celebrate and acknowledge the people who have done a really good job at supporting our community and our chamber, and we get to have a little bit of fun, and yeah, I think that's it. So some of the awards we're giving out tonight are Small Business Man and Woman of the Year. We're giving out a Community Service Award and a Large Business Owner of the Year as well. I think the favorite part is really honestly just honoring the people who put so much effort into helping our small businesses, putting events together that are meaningful, and bringing value to the chamber so that members feel as though they're getting something for their membership. So I think this is just a really good way to highlight those people to hopefully bring in some new members too.
The next morning, the 29th, was a Vietnam Veterans celebration in the City Hall foyer. Put on by Lynn Veteran Services, this annual event honors the 19 Lynners killed during the conflict, as well as marking the final withdrawal of troops from Vietnam, which occurred 51 years ago in 1973.
Today in Lynn and around the country, where everyone pauses to remember Vietnam veterans. It's Vietnam Veterans Day across the country, and it's the anniversary of the last combat troops that left Vietnam in 1973. So it's the 51st year. So I think we're really here just proud, and it's a tradition we've had in Lynn for as long as I can remember, to come out and make sure that we remember those who served and fought and died during the Vietnam War. Vietnam veterans served at a time when their service was not necessarily honored. That's a polite way for saying they were treated wrong by our country. While we can never change that, we need to thank them, and we need to recognize as veterans who serve today and come home that many of the services we receive today, although imperfect, would not be in place if it were not for our Vietnam veterans who fought for them, whether it be PTSD, services for homeless veterans.
I just really want to thank you for spreading that awareness and making sure our country understands the importance of our duty and our service and our sacrifice. We owe you a huge debt, and I hope to be, as a counselor at large, part of continuing to correct the wrongs that Vietnam veterans have endured.
Nicole's been a fixture in all these events as a counselor, even beforehand. Thrilled. And the mayor, I think, and the council and the city, what they've done in terms of keeping the clinic open and getting that lease signed, I think it really is putting your money where your mouth is, and making sure that the services are there for veterans and things are more than just words. Many of the services and the help we receive today would not be there if it weren't for the work that Vietnam veterans did to demand it. And I think it's an example for all of us.
National Grid and the Boston Children's Museum announced the launch of a STEAM community learning model to be piloted by 6 after-school programs in Lynn. With a 3-year, $550,000 commitment by National Grid, the program will foster professional development, supporting 40 after-school educators who serve more than 300 children aged 3 to 7. Educators from the 6 organizations will receive a stipend for their time and the materials to implement the museum's Tinker curriculum, which provides hands-on activities for children to practice STEAM skills. This new community partnership will expand the adults' ability to teach STEAM learning to children, encouraging kids to learn skills that last a lifetime. Moving east, the Nahant Bayside was hopping all night long with the 2024 Krama fundraiser party. Decked out in former attire, members of the Cambodian community enjoyed a night of dancing, raffles, and food, with proceeds going towards the Khmer New Year's celebration later this month on the 27th.
Hi, my name is Erickson. This is the Katana fundraiser, Khmer Party fundraiser by the sea. So this event is a fundraiser for the Khmer New Year celebration that happens on the last Saturday in April. We do it at the Lynn Commons every year, and the money that we make here will go towards the community. Yeah, there's a huge population in Cambodian Lynn. We have what is that, the second biggest Cambodian community in the Massachusetts. At this event, we have people coming in here. We can dance, we can enjoy the night, get a few cocktails, you can win raffles. We got Above the Hill Church who donated 2 raffles, which is a TV and an iPad. So thank you guys. I've been involved with this program since 2011. So it's been about, what is it, 2024 right now? A few years, 10, 12, 13 years. The best part about this event is getting the community out, enjoying the vibe together. We're celebrating, we're making money, we're raising money to create the Cambodian New Year. So we're coming together, we're enjoying the evening, and it's just for a good cause.
On Easter Sunday, streets were closed off for kids to run all around collecting eggs for the 3rd annual Ward 3 Easter egg hunt sponsored by Energy. Treats lined the grass as kids filled their buckets.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1!
This is our 3rd Easter egg hunt happening right at the corner of S6 and Jackson Street, right at our business at Energy Cafe and Fitness. Definitely exciting to bring the community together, just to support a common cause of just giving the kids a space and a place where they can just learn more about the community and have access to all the activities and all that good stuff.
Growing up, I've always done Easter egg hunts since I was young. Either it would be at my aunt's house. I grew up here on Essex Street, so we would always do it. So we have the space for it, and it made us want to just do a mega, basically, Easter egg hunt. We also have small businesses here that we're supporting. We have Makeup by Amber. We have Oasis Beauty Supply. We also have Golden Monkey that donated to us as well. We have Coco, Ward 3 with us here. We do it together. We partner up with him. He's amazing. We love him. We have Ana Espinal with her business. She's doing merchandise for us, which is absolutely amazing. We're super happy that she's here with us as well.
The intention of what we do is really just to bring the community together. That way they have a safe space to learn about each other and about their community, right? So if you guys are in the area, stop by. Our business is primarily supported on giving back. So this is just one piece of what we do.
The Healy-Driscoll administration has announced that $3.4 million will be distributed to 16 school districts through the Commonwealth Preschool Partnership Initiative. 9 districts, including Lynn, will be expanding their efforts, adding 32 preschool classrooms for 488 additional seats. 7 new communities are also being included in a first round of grants. For Lynn, Greg House, Leo Head Start, and the Demacus YMCA are receiving a total of $404,000 through the program. The funding, which was generated by the Fair Share Amendment, is going towards the goal of increasing access to high-quality preschool while putting the state on the path to offering universal access to preschool. The new month brought with it a new theme, as National Public Health Week is celebrated every year during the first week of April. The Lynn Public Health Department held a series of events meant to educate the community and display available resources. They began the week with a walk around the Commons and health flag raising on the 1st. Take a look.
On Monday, April 1st, Lynn city officials and participants gathered for the first day of National Public Health Week, an annual tradition where communities gather to recognize current issues surrounding public health, as well as contributions made towards those issues. The day first began with a walk around the Lynn Common, which ended back at the City Hall steps. Then, the public health flag was raised, recognizing the official beginning of Public Health Week. Public Health Director Lisa Tobin then shared Mayor Jared Nicholson's proclamation with the crowd.
Public health is more than just health care. It's the steps we take to make sure our neighborhoods and environment are free from pollution. It's making sure our food and water are safe to eat and drink. It's also the relationships we foster in our communities. And whereas we recognize that we are all interconnected and that when we all come together to support public health, all of us, individuals, families, communities, and the public health field, we can achieve the goals of public health.
She was then followed up by a guest speaker who, among a group of participants, won an essay contest and spoke to the people gathered.
Public health is crucial because it ensures access to essential healthcare services for everyone, regardless of their socio-economic status. Public health is extremely important to maintain the safety and health of everyone. Without public health, there would be many fatalities around the world. Not only is public health important in our community, but it is also important all around the world.
For LCTV News, I'm Josh Englander.
Community resource tables and an open mic were the next day. Filling the foyer, organizations spanning from physical health to mental health to food insecurity were on location to connect with residents.
The
This week is Public Health Week. It is celebrated nationally, and of course we are celebrating here on a local level as well. Our event happening today in the City Hall foyer is our Community Health Resource event. We have invited organizations in the community to table and invited the community to come in and see what they have to offer, resources, goodies. I think sometimes resources exist. It's just a matter of getting the resources to the community. This is a good event to kind of link the residents to the resources that are available. So we're trying to kind of bridge that gap that might exist. So we have a lot of food resources, Project Bread, Phoenix Food Hub. We have a lot of resources for substance use disorder. We have the Regional Public Health Department. We have the Mass General Brigham team, MAPC, who has partnered with us and will continue to partner with us in the future. We will soon be launching our public health van, so you will see it at community events during the summer and beyond. We have Narcan training and supply available during City Hall hours. If you want to come down and get some Narcan, see how it works, you have the opioid program specialist that can demonstrate. We also encourage everyone to stop by our Community Health Resource Room in 103 at City Hall. We have a mural for Mural Arts, and it's just a space that is open to everyone. We want it to be welcoming and available.
General Electric has completed a process 3 years in the making, officially splitting into 3 companies: GE Aerospace, GE Healthcare, and GE Vernova. GE Healthcare launched last year, but Aerospace and Vernova only became publicly traded companies on the morning of April 2nd, 2024. They will focus on the distribution of energy to homes and businesses, as well as the development of new products. General Electric was founded back in 1892 and produced the country's first jet engine during World War II. They peaked in employment during 1985, but in recent years, between the 2000s financial struggle and COVID-19, GE Capital struggled. This led to the decision to leave financial services behind and split the company in 3. So far, it appears to be working, as GE Healthcare has $20 billion in revenue, Aerospace has $32, and Vernova has amounts 15. Narcan is becoming a more widely known and used substance for overdoses, so the Public Health Department held a presentation highlighting how to properly administer the medicine and its life-saving qualities. Here is a clip.
So what is naloxone? Are you guys familiar with what Narcan is?
Yeah, it's like when you overdose, you put it in your nose.
So Narcan is what we call an opioid antagonist. So its only job is to remove the opioid receptors from the brain temporarily and reverse the effects of an overdose. Now, a couple important things to know about it. Like I said, it only works for opioid overdoses. This is a good thing because if you're walking down the street and you just so happen to see somebody that's unconscious, but you don't know them, you don't know what's going on with them, you can use your Narcan, and if it's not an overdose, it's not going to hurt them. It won't help them, but it also won't hurt them. It won't cause them any additional issues. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes to work. So in the 3 to 5 minutes that you're waiting for the Narcan to work, it's really important that you're giving rescue breaths to people. What an overdose is respiratory failure. So anytime that the brain does not have oxygen to it can cause damage. So the longer the person is without breaths, the more damage that can be caused. There's no potential for abuse for Narcan. You cannot get high off of it. Its only job is to reverse the effects of an opioid overdose.
After decades of work and 5 administrations, a Conservation Act was passed to permanently protect Lynn Woods. Taking up 2,200 acres of land, 30 miles of trails, and clean water for the city, it will now be protected for decades to come. Here's a clip from the ceremony.
I'm really so happy to be here to celebrate this milestone, and we wouldn't be here today without the decades of commitment of so many people and organizations, and I'll mention a few, but the really strong partnership that DCR and the City of Lynn, Greenbelt, and the Friends of Lynn Woods have had, and really importantly, the City of Lynn with the right leadership, Mayor Nicholson, who's right in my sights here, and Lynn Water and Sewer for gifting Greenbelt and DCR this conservation restriction. Talk about a priceless gift that will ensure that the space remains a supplier of clean water for the city and also permanently protected.
We're talking, as we've heard, about 2,200 acres of nature right here in the city of Lynn. 30 miles of trails, the hiking, the running, the mountain biking, the cross-country skiing, you can do it all. And signature features that we all come to define our recreational lives, like Dungeon Rock and the Stone Tower and the Rose Garden. I mean, it's an incredible, incredible resource.
To watch the full presentation for both Narcan and for Lynn Woods, go to lyntv.org. And on deck is the sports update. Spring sports have begun across the board. First up is lacrosse, where St. Mary's boys and girls began the season on the losing end. For the girls, it was an 8-6 road battle with Malden Catholic, while the boys lost 8-6 to Danvers. The girls Spartans bounced back with an 8-7 double overtime victory over Tewksbury. The Lynn Jets struggled, dropping their first game 11-1 to Malden. Kip Academy also lost in baseball. It was tied 1-1 going into the 6th, but ended 7-1 in favor of the Minutemen. Lynn Tech volleyball began their season with a victory 3-1 over Whittier, and an all-around strong team effort. Classical track lost their first meet of the year 81-43, but saw 3 of their athletes place first in their respective events. The Lynn Tech alumni baseball game fundraiser took place on the 30th, pitting an alumni team against the current Tiger players. Clad in red, the alumni players proved they still had some game, tagging out a sliding Tech player at home and knocking a triple into left field in their first at-bat. Their big innings were the 2nd and 5th, scoring 4 runs apiece. On the flip side in blue, the Tech players strung together some hits, registering 2 runs in the 6th and final frame. Ultimately, the veterans won 11-5, but the teams were all smiles during this friendly competition for charity. Following the theme of fundraisers, the Lynn Fire and Police Departments played in a Battle of the Badges hockey game for the first time in a decade. In front of an overflowing crowd, they raised funds for 2 charities in a game which saw the fire department come out victorious 8-1.
Let's play hockey!
On Easter weekend, March 29th, the Lynn Police and Fire Departments got together at Connery Skating Rink over on Shepherd Street to compete in the Battle of the Badges hockey game, the first of its kind in 10 years. The skating rink was packed with families and friends of the officers and firefighters, cheering on each team as they worked to raise money for the Children's Special Olympics, as well as probation officer Jeff January, who suffered third-degree burns in a house fire earlier this year. Blades the Bruins mascot even made a cameo appearance. Before the game began, I spoke to Assistant Captain Bobby LaBerge of the Police Department and Assistant Captain Doug Surrett of the Fire Department to get their thoughts on what this game means to them, as well as to the Lynn Police and Fire community.
It's been a while since we've came together to have an event of any sorts of kind, so I think this is kind of building that bond back together between the 2 departments. We're really excited. I couldn't have done this without, my Sergeant Gary Haggerty, Fire Departments, Tony Uva, and Doug Surrett. We all really came together as a team. This is the first time they've played in about 10 years, so we're really excited.
It means a lot. We want everybody to see, that we work together. They wear blue, we wear red, but we're all one team. Bobby LaBerge did a great job. I worked with him putting this together, and Jeff January, he's got a family and stuff at home, so we want to do something for him, so give him a little shout out. He's a big figure in Lynn. Everybody knows him.
After a scoreless first period, the Fire Department went on to defeat the Police Department 8-1. But the event's meaning to both departments and to the surrounding Lynn community was ultimately more important. For LCTV News, I'm Josh Englander.
Baseball season is back in Boston, complete with Sweet Caroline and quite a few new faces. After a dismal last-place finish last season, the Sox made significant changes, the largest of which was hiring former player Craig Bledsoe as their new chief baseball officer. They have begun this season 5-2, most recently completing a 3-game sweep of the Oakland A's. A 9-0 shutout saw Sox pitcher Tanner Houck go 6 innings, giving up only 3 runs compared to 10 strikeouts. Jarren Duran led the way on offense with 3 hits, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. It took 11 innings, but the Sox won again over the A's 5-4, finishing the clean sweep with a 1-0 victory when Emmanuel Valdez knocked in Duran on a sacrifice fly in the 4th. Nick Pivetta went 5 innings for the Sox, only giving up 5 hits, and the bullpen did the rest. 5 games are left in the regular season, and the 60-16 Celtics are going for their best record since 2008, which was also the last time they hoisted the trophy. They put down the struggling Carolina Hornets 118-104, as Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, and Sam Hauser all broke the 20-point mark. With a 135-100 win over the Oklahoma City Thunder, they clinched the best record in the league and the #1 seed in the playoffs. 7 Celtics scored in the double digits, and as a team, they outscored the Thunder by 25 in the final frame. It came down to a shootout in D.C. where the Bruins pulled out a 3-2 victory, thanks in large part to defenseman Hampus Lindholm, who caused a 2-goal swing early. The Washington Capitals thought they had an open net goal less than a minute into the game, but Lindholm became the goalie, batting the shot away with his stick. He then scored the first goal for Boston with a minute remaining in the opening period. The game was tied 2-2 going into the third, but neither team scored in the final period or overtime, despite combining for 49 shots on goal. The Bees followed this with a 3-0 shutout of the Nashville Predators and a 4-1 victory over the Carolina Hurricanes on the road. Lynn Tech boosts a nationally recognized chapter of SkillsUSA, and 3 of their senior officers joined us on the Lowdown to discuss their mission. This includes media expos, community outreach days, and state competitions. Here is the Lowdown. Hello and welcome back to the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Danny Vittori, and today we have on 3 members from Lynn Tech's chapter of SkillsUSA. Thanks for coming on today.
For sure.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. So first things first, would you mind just introducing yourselves and saying your position within the group?
For sure. So hey, how's it going? I'm Anthony. I'm a senior at Lynn Tech, and I serve as the chapter president.
Great.
Yeah, I'm Arriaza. I'm also a senior, and I serve as the chapter's vice president.
My name is Giselle Vides Perlera, and I'm a senior at Lynn Tech, and I serve as the secretary for the Lynn Tech chapter.
Great. So I'll ask first, how long have you all been involved in SkillsUSA? Like, when did you join?
Yeah, for sure. I joined SkillsUSA my sophomore year. I joined late into my sophomore year, so I think it's been around like 2.5 years almost, counting this year now.
Awesome.
Yeah, for me, I started later. I started when I was a junior. I started as soon as school began, so I've been here for 1.5 years.
Yeah, me and Anthony had a similar story. I joined a little bit after him, but about 2.5 years.
So for people who, I'm sure they've seen you around, seen you do events, but what would you want people to know or understand about SkillsUSA, you know, like your purpose?
Yeah, for sure. I think SkillsUSA is best described as a national organization that focuses on trying to close the skills gap that they call it. It basically tries and promote and teach kids in high school the skills that they'll need to be able to succeed in the real world, whether that's through college or through the trade that they choose to pursue. It's basically just trying to promote the trades and vocations and all that stuff.
Awesome. And you also recently, you did a family day, which sounded like it was a huge success with 50 families. What went into that?
Yeah, so Family Day was something we came up in mind with at the beginning of our school year. You know, we focused on, our main goal was prevention. And we thought building a family dynamic image would be a perfect event for that. So Family Day was one of our main topics. In terms of what happened during Family Day, we had families come along and do certain activities. Our main event was creating coffee tables, and I think that was a successful event overall.
And I know you're all seniors, so this might be a tricky question, but do you think that this is something that you'd want to continue an event like this, or something that you'd want to evolve into something even bigger?
Yeah, like 100%. Like every single year, we always try and involve the community, and especially that we could focus on the family this year. And like perhaps like next year we could make this event more bigger, more accessible to more families, and we could add more like activities that they would like more.
You're always looking to go bigger, which I greatly admire too. That's a big skill set. And I said you are all seniors, so kind of looking back on it, what would you say have been the biggest things you can take away from this experience?
For sure, I think the biggest thing that Skills has done for me is just taught me to get out of my comfort zone. I would say. Before SkillsUSA, I wasn't like an academic weapon, I guess you could call. But I'm not saying I'm on now, but I think that through Skills, my mindset and my discipline, I would say, has changed, and I've been able to grow like a different mentality when it comes to like attacking a new issue or just like talking to someone new. I think SkillsUSA has been able to teach me like those soft skills that go into like a lot of the newer or more adult-like things that you encounter after high school.
Definitely.
Yeah, I 100% agree with what he's saying. And especially, our projects are 100% community-based. Yeah. So it's like we're able to like meet like different families who live in different parts of Lynn, and it's just really nice to just connect with them, like meet like where they like are from, like what schools their children go to. It's just a really nice way to like build a connection with your community.
It is. It's all about engaging, and even one of the things that you posted, I think it was on social media about, was you actually did a session for 8th graders about interviewing about skills. So can you talk a little bit about connecting with some of those younger students too?
For sure. Yeah, that event was kind of our resume workshop. I think it was based on trying to like get these students ready for like a job interview or how to build a resume, stuff like that. And it actually worked out really well because the 8th graders that had that event, they had their interview the next day to get into Lynn Tech. Oh. So it actually worked out really well. And it's a skill that people think that comes with anything, but some people don't learn how to interact at an interview until like years and years after high school. So I think it was really valuable.
Yeah, definitely a valuable skill. I know I didn't learn as much when I was younger, and I wish I had, truly. I think it would have made me less nervous. Well, probably not, but at least appear more confident.
For sure.
So, you know, going through, you have a few months left of the year. What are you thinking looking forward? Like, are there events coming up? Kind of how's that schedule looking?
Oh yeah, so actually we have competition coming up. It's coming really soon, and I think all of us are really working hard in our competitions. I know something we've been working on for the past weeks is my outstanding chapter competition. Obviously, me and 2 other members are participating in it, but it's something that we involve the whole team in. So that's why I think, you know, having all of our members participate makes us outstanding.
Because you've been recognized as a National Outstanding Model for Excellence, which is incredible, first of all, but what kind of goes into that? Like you mentioned the competitions, how do those work?
So competitions are divided by trade competition and leadership competitions.
Okay.
All of us here, we focus on leadership competitions, and in order to get into the trade competitions, everybody has to take a district test, and once you pass the district test, you go on to states, and then if you complete states, then you go on to nationals.
Okay, so big stakes, big doings, right?
Yeah.
I think, was it last year that you advanced quite far before too?
Yeah.
Did you get all the way to nationals? Was that what it was?
Yes, we did.
That must have been pretty crazy. How was that experience?
Yeah, it was very exciting. I feel like it was like our second time going into nationals together, and it was just like we knew it was gonna happen. Like we were prepared. Like we knew like how to like calm ourselves down or like how to like hype ourselves up for competitions, and it just felt like it was just like we were just back like second time, and the fact that we were able to like win again, it was just like an amazing feeling knowing that the work that we put in and we continue learning and growing, it just continues showing like in our goals that we reach for nationals and competitions.
Definitely, really exemplify that. And you've mentioned before too about the community aspect of it, really connecting with it. Why is that such an important piece of this?
Yeah, I think SkillsUSA is really based, like that's one of the core values of what SkillsUSA is, and that's something that we've all learned in our years here. I think being able to acknowledge the fact that we're all in a place where we can give back is really important, I would say. And the fact that we've been able to create these events and be able to reflect on the needs of our city and realize that there are stuff that we can do to help. It's been really cool to be able to learn how to do that and how to do it well.
Yeah, I agree with what he's saying, and especially we go through like from the beginning to the end. Like we first like come up with the idea, we brainstorm, then we actually like create a plan as to how we want to execute the project or a certain event. And there, like from what we all learned together as a team, like what we learned from like right now, we can use like when we're out of high school. And like this isn't like a skill that we like forget about. That we're learning to be leaders for the world. So like once we're out of high school, once we're in a position where we can actually like do like a certain project event at work or like a community service event, like we already learned this like while we were in our high school years with SkillsUSA.
You've become maybe a bit ahead of other people, really becoming these community leaders. And are the events, do you tend to focus on specific age groups, like, or people like families or such, or is it more broad and just depends on what ideas you come up with?
No, yeah, so last year we had a few events that we had like a mental wealth event, and that event was more catered towards like teens in high school, but obviously like we didn't say, oh, anyone this age and up can't come. Like obviously mental wealth is something that everyone should care for, not just teens. This past event, it was more for families with little kids. But obviously we had a few teens come, a few like older adults, a few younger adults. Like it's never like we close the doors to anyone either.
It's very inclusive, very family-oriented thing for sure.
Exactly.
And I know I have to wrap up in a moment, but is there anything else that you wanted to say, as you said in your last lowdown before you graduated? Is there anything else any of you wanted to mention?
Yeah, so I'd just like to say that SkillsUSA has been a big part of my life. It's something that has changed me as a student and also as a leader. It's obviously progressed me into becoming a better human being, so I think SkillsUSA is something, I think every school should have.
For sure. Yeah, I just want to say I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy that I found Skills when I did. And if you're a bulk tech school that doesn't have a SkillsUSA chapter, I think you should definitely look into it.
Yeah, and I feel like all that we've learned these past like 3 years, almost 3 years that we've been in SkillsUSA, like we learned a ton about ourselves, a ton about other people, and I feel like every student should be involved in some sort of organization or community that can help build up like their skills and anything that can help them.
Well, you three, as well as your entire team, are definitely examples of that. So let's also say good luck, since you are all graduating seniors, on whatever endeavor you do next. And thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
You're welcome anytime. And once again, I'm Danny Vittori. This has been the Lynn Lowdown, and we'll see you next week with more guests. Up next, the community calendar. If you want to see some local talent, head down to the GLPA's 3rd annual member photographic exhibit opening reception at the Democus YMCA. From 2 to 4 p.m. on Sunday the 7th, come see the art, meet some of the members, and learn more about the GLPA. The exhibit will be up for public viewing from April 4th to June 2nd. A partial solar eclipse is coming, and the city has ways for you to watch it safely. The Lynn Public Library is hosting a solar eclipse viewing from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m., and special glasses will be provided on a first-come, first-served basis. From the 1st to the 6th, the library will also be giving glasses away. Residents must register for a library card, renew an existing one, or check out an item to receive a pair. There's a limit of 1 pair per person while supplies last. The Lynn Public Health Department for the City of Lynn is holding a blood drive next week on Wednesday, April 10th. From 1 to 6 p.m., residents can come to room 103 and donate. All blood types are needed. Schedule an appointment online or by scanning the QR code on the flyer. With that, we have reached the end of another news broadcast. Follow us on social media at Lynn Community Television to stay up to date on announcements, press releases, and breaking news. Access all videos, articles, and our community calendar for free at lyntv.org. For videos spanning from our beginnings to the present, visit Lynn Community Television on YouTube. I'm Danny Vittori, this is LCTV News, and we will see you next week.
This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by Encompass Health, North Shore Community College, Leo Inc., Brotherhood Credit Union, and Deolis Brothers Construction.